Mat Mahabut, 2003. First and foremost, you should visit for the Buddha, Morphin P. by the Prakanong. But in this world, we have plenty of time for both, coming around again constantly like an old Carly Simon song. In this city of angels, Menak waits in 1,000 ways, if you look in, reunites and blesses in her own manner, from beyond the grave with her baby. You discover frequently the scares more than a few who never needed to seek missing family after a war. My guide didn't want to linger here, suggested shopping for luxuries. She had wonderful children to feed. Hers the Lao for boat, Kama are consequential actions. On our shared rivers, mind how you carve, how you bind the timber of your wandering soul. Traversing celestial waters, these might take you past home, past a vast temple of answers you can't purchase with anything except the righteous questions. Jaganyai. For my heart is a dinosaur and you but a cold meteor. Fly as you will from my atmosphere, I'll return in my own way. Perhaps as poultry, perhaps a gallon of diesel, some polished paperweight, or mixed in the concrete knock in a temple for 1,000 souls who will come back many times because they couldn't let go without regret. Encounters and incantations. Between two worlds red as wine in the land of 10,000 stories, we meet by chance, perhaps, marigold seeds of karma, amused yet sly, open in new eyes, awake, wild and knowing eternity. Yesterdays we did not, could not share, spending lifetimes among others, seeking freedom. And yet in this today, infinite possibility, utterly brave and true wisdom within reach, sharing our hidden wars like love for tomorrows. Missoula, 1996. Reconnecting is an imperfect process. Lifetime movies make it look smooth as spider silk, searching, reconstructing methodically from clues. A particular Venn diagram of will and fate, circumstance and fortune that returns me to Montana 2 decades later to a mountain clan that might be mine was more comedic than most. Searching among shamans and forgotten veterans brought me to visit the Mua Emu farm in Missoula as they were culling in November. Arm deep amid throbbing avian organs, they ask if I'll help as the snow descends. I wanted to be a good guest in Big Sky. We discussed the market for emu leather and oil. Some Texan convinced them would boom one day soon with a brisk demand for emu jerky. Good protein, y'all, 7,406 miles from where we began. My parents never mentioned the Montana smoke jumper, Jerry Daniels, covered bloodbaths with a point of jars. The Ravens were America. Just Ho Chi Minh tacos and a gardener who stole an embassy's frangipani for them. One more tiny story from a war no one really understands. On the subway to the Bay, 2558. The cosmos is not democratic or egalitarian. Believing this leads to despots and magicians, Morpi and the occasional Nakavi and their quiet lives beyond your sight. Somewhere, a robot revolts. For love, perhaps. A 1, a 0. Paina goes to the west. I have known eons among celestials the way you have known a second. I have stretched from the rains of Draco to the banks of a dreaming Mekong. I was there when the son of the Shakya flowered into bright Takata, breaking the cycles of samsara. I watched my wisest daughter journey to your young lands of grapes and olives. You took her beautiful head and claimed her monster, filling your proud bowels with wine and honey. In the primeval eras of sacred Himapan, feathered Kinali devote their lives to song and dance, celebrating the beauty of the timeless and the finite, what might soar and what might remember, what might love and what might wonder. On your modest sea, you plug your ignorant ears, proclaiming them foul screechers reeking of carrion. Arriving on your shores to address these matters, you scream in terror, summoning saints and swords, dismissing me, some rankless worm of fetid breath. Back home, the kin of Akirin rolls his sagacious eyes as you dream of your pale virgins and bestial unicorns. I would teach you of eternity and the laughter of karma, but you'd likely just mistake it for some horrid inferno. Arachne's daughter. One morning, walking into my backyard, a thin strand of spider silk tangles my legs with a quiet snap. Its frustrated offer glares from a high corner nearby. Shall I pity her folly or praise her ambition? I return inside to my cup of coffee and an unfinished love poem not worth mention. Contracting. One morning over coffee we were discussing terms, negotiating with a bit of levity the hue of a French postcard and an American biscotti. I mentioned casually, we say in the industry you can get it good, fast, or cheap, but you can't have all three. Pick two. With a wry smile, he takes a sip of his hot macchiato. That's a good one. In my family, we say you can get people who are obedient, smart, or loyal. Pick two. I suppose we all know what that got everyone. We shake hands, and I return to a world of ink, rife with all their uncertainties. Spaces. Maybe we've been going about it all wrong, so tied to our bodies, where bits of it can be touched. We should have embraced what endures between this flush, our real center in a centerless cosmos. Aspects of the infinite, transient, subatomic, more unspeakable than a glimpse of a true Tao. After a sip of instant coffee, I text John Anon in his vat with a sub-ID and my query. He doesn't know how to type nothing in Lao with the keyboard he has, but tells me, don't worry. Every day, it's midnight somewhere, and morning somewhere. You just need to meditate where you are. Good luck. I read a book of monsters and wait for noon.